Yo, it's Tyson Bagent. Shout out Marcus Roper and Keegan. You know, you watching, tuning in to Against All Odds.
Take me back to your freshman year of high school. You played freshman team that year. How was that?
I thought I mean, going to Martinsburg, like because I grew up in Charlestown. So like when you grow up in Charlestown, like especially when you're younger, you know, like you had the Washington basketball team that was really good that year. Yeah. And that like, at least when they were good and I was watching that, I was like, dang, like Washington is a dynasty basketball program. But then Martinsburg was like this complete other world of like hood, scary,
for sure,
football, for sure. like really,
and that's for black people and white people. Like it's not just like a white person going there saying this is like
nah, it's just everybody. That is what is like
that's the vibe.
When you grow up, like you know that like shit's tougher in Martinsburg.
For sure.
Or that's
sure.
like that's what's
more
portrayed.
cutthroat.
That's what's portrayed.
For sure.
So I was scared.
I believe it.
I was scared, because I was scared because my dad, like I was in 8th grade. I like football and basketball equally. And my dad had always told me growing up I was going to Martinsburg. When it came time for it to really happen, he was like, he obviously knew that he didn't want to like make me do something I didn't want to do. So he like, I remember I was hooping with Parker and Rasan in Huntfield, and he was like, all right, man, look, I ain't gonna make you do nothing. I know you can either go to Washington, Jefferson, or we can really go to Martinsburg. And I was like, I'm with my boys right now.
Because you went to Wildwood, right? You played at Wildwood.
I know Parker's going to Washington, so it's like he's my dog at the time. Rasan just lived in Charlestown. He'd been my best friend since I was real little. So I'm like, but then I don't know, for whatever, I was like, nah, man, I think we do gotta go to Martinsburg. Like I can't play football at Jefferson or Washington. Yeah. Especially like
go where you're trying
I'm
to
not
go.
no running quarterback. So it's like the only way you can be successful on a real shitty team is if you got wheels, and I didn't have that at the time. So I was like, all right, I gotta.
Tyson used to be slow as hell.
Yeah,
slow as hell. He turned that shit around.
I did.
So did you, even though you had to go to Martinsburg, which one did you want to go to? Did you want to go to Jefferson?
I wanted to.
For the social.
I feel like the childish in me wanted to see new people at school. Maybe just like the excitement of that, and then obviously the football. Like I did want to play football, so I was like, grew up watching Martinsburg, thought it'd be cool. And then my freshman year, played on the freshman team, and it like the same thing with like you could relate like the freshman team when you're a freshman in high school and you play JV. That's basically like you like made it D1. Okay. Right.
Okay.
Just like saying, and if you freshman and you play on a freshman team, you not D1. You're basically not like D1. But I was like, I knew I was gonna be the man on the freshman team, so I was like, all right, like cool, I'll like this up. And we had a good team. We ended up going. We lost in a championship game actually, but
who'd y'all lose to?
Musselman. Who did they? They had this dude. He ended up playing outside linebacker for him for a while. But his senior year, he was the same size as he was his freshman year, and he was toting the rock.
Jeez,
it was crazy. But
so was that in the plans?
Yeah. So I went there my freshman year. I showed up like. The last day of like summer workouts.
Okay.
So I got like one summer workout with them. Nobody really knew me at all. So I knew I was gonna play on the freshman team. So lit it up there, and then I was like 5'8" there. But like I feel like Coach Walker like gave me an unrealistic little boost of confidence, just because I remember like right after that season, our offensive coordinator was a track coach. So I was running track, and during like track season, Coach Walker was like, "Hey man, like, because we had a junior quarterback, and he was gonna be a senior next year." They went to the state semis, so it's like he had his spot.
So your freshman year, they went to the state.
My freshman year, they had a junior quarterback, and they went to the state semifinals. And he still was like, "Yo, if you put in the work, like I see you throw the ball, like you're gonna get a chance." Luckily, I grew to like 6'1".
That next year.
That next year, I was 6'1", and I did end up beating the dude out. But it also helped because he was the best athlete on the team too. Okay. So we were able to plug him in different positions. And he was real good at defense too. So we needed him like fresh for that. But he ended up hurting his shoulder. Carter Walburn.
Yeah. Played basketball too, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he was a cool dude. But Yeah, so then I won that, and then it was just like, I don't know, I just feel like they trusted
So
me.
were you, your sophomore year, were you on the JV team and then you just moved up?
Nah,
or do you
my sophomore year I started varsity.
started varsity
Just
like right
off
away?
the first
Word.
game, yeah.
That's crazy.
It is crazy because
Freshman to varsity, you don't
freshman
really
to
see that
varsity,
too
yeah,
much.
I didn't play JV, so that was weird, but I'm glad it worked out like that. I think that sophomore year was fun just because I was young, and you having success with older dudes, that's like the coolest thing in the world.
Were you scared?
Yeah,
Making
probably,
that quick transition?
Nah. I mean, I was probably just as nervous as I pretty much always am.
Right.
Just nervous.
Dang, so it was your first year on varsity, and my boy Jawan, that was his first
when
year
he came
playing
and
too.
played. Yeah, that was.
And y'all were a little duo that year,
Yeah,
like
he
a
helped me
low-key
out.
duo. Like no one saw that coming.
Yeah, he helped me out that year. He was good for
He had a
us.
good year.
He was real solid. It was like he was so fast, and we actually didn't have that good of a team that year, and we just kept getting better because we were tight, and then we just kept because we started off 0-2, and then we had to go 8-0.
You guys always play a tough schedule though.
Yeah, we lost to HD. We lost to HD Woodson and Sharando, the first two. So I started off 0-2. So I was like, damn.
Oh man,
like,
pressure's on.
This is like the same team that just had a 5P state championship run. I'm like, man. But those losses I was balling. So I wasn't like, I'm like, all right.
You were playing well, y'all just couldn't.
Yeah, I was like, all right, you can't blame. They're not gonna blame this on me. I'm out here like. We can't run the ball, so we're throwing the ball. I'm young. I'm like, man, this is crazy.
Because that year y'all lost in the was it the semi-finals?
Quarterfinals. Yeah, and we were supposed to get blown out, but we ended up losing 35-30.
That's
Yeah,
a game.
solid.
So you know, from a winning program, that was considered a down year, even though, you know what I mean?
Because that was back-to-back years. They didn't make it to the state championship or win the state championship after having won it 5 times in a row. So then we took a 2-year little hiatus, and then my junior and senior year, we won it again, and then it kept going for a couple more years.
Dang, that's crazy. And then your senior year, you were Gatorade Player of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about that a little bit. What that meant to you. You know,
Yeah.
I've seen you on other interviews. You know, you're real humble about it, but you know, tell me how you really feel about it. Like when you got that, that's a crazy award.
So like my sophomore year, I had a really good year, like a surprising good year for everybody, like including myself. And then my junior year, I didn't get like as good from my sophomore year as I wanted to. I was obviously better, and we won the state championship. But individually, I didn't think I got progressed enough to like go where I wanted to go. Like I wanted to go to college, play football. So I got stupid good. Like I just trained so hard going into my senior year, like nothing. It was like one of those things where I was like completely like cut off from like any type of like the outside world, just because I was so like locked in. I was like, dude, I gotta make this shake. Like I gotta get college paid for. I gotta go to college. Then my senior year we went crazy, and we weren't like we were good, but the team was a little more heavily reliant on me, running and throwing. So I was doing everything, and I wasn't turning the ball over at all. So, and winning that Gatorade Player of the Year, it came out of nowhere. I was in social studies class first period.
You didn't even
never even really won no award for real. Like
really?
My junior year, I didn't even make first team All State. I was second team All State my junior year. So like nothing. And my junior year, they gave the Offensive Player of the Year to Isaac.
Isaac Brown.
So like I had like no Isaac Myers.
Isaac Myers. Oh
yeah, because he was killing it at Jefferson, running the ball and playing quarterback. So then I just got the notification. It was like Tyson Bagent, West Virginia Gatorade Player of the Year.
He's probably.
I was in there. I was so hyped.
That's crazy.
So hyped. It was one of those things. I was just looking. I was like, damn, that's wild.
Because some schools around here don't even have a Gatorade Player of the Year. Like I know Washington probably doesn't have one.
It was funny because Isaac Brown won it the year before me.
Your teammate, okay.
And then he left.
He transferred.
Yeah, and then I won it the next year, so it was cool.
So you didn't have him your senior year?
Nah, we had Gerard Bowie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Filled the shoes in.
Yeah, he did.
Played well.
He's probably the best receiver ever at Martinsburg.
It's crazy.
That is crazy.
And he's killing
It's crazy
right now.
how he does it too. I don't even understand it. Like the things that he was doing this year, because I'd be like on the bus going back from a game, and you know you got Gerard and Coach Walker there, so I would like check the stats or whatever. This dude, it got to the point where it was like the 5th week in a row. I looked at it. It said like 200 some yards receiving. I'm like, at what point are you a team and you watching your pre-game film?
College team.
You watching film. You watching film, and this dude's going for 250 every game. Like you think you just put 2 dudes on him. But
for sure.
I don't know how that happened, but
for sure
he was going crazy.
To talk about your freshman year of college, the year before they went 10-1, lost I think in the first round to Finlay.
Yep.
Finlay.
Finlay.
Talk about your first year. You know, you won first team MEC. You broke some records there.
Yeah.
First year. And then you guys fell short. You guys didn't make the playoffs that year. Talk a little bit about that. Did you feel pressure?
Man, I just felt like I filled the shoes like way better than anybody, even myself, thought I was going to. So, like, it was one of those things like my sophomore year where I was playing so good. It was like, all right, if anything, like I feel like I know the coaches feel like they got to build around me, like not that they got to figure my position out. Like the position is taken care of. They just need to build it around me for sure. So I mean, and it was like that Finley game. I had already known I was going to go to Shepherd, and that like loss right there. It was like because I knew how good the quarterback was the year before I got there. Kind of Jessup, ended up getting a shot with the Redskins, but I knew how good he was, and then they lost the first round. I was like, man, like if I'm play next year, I gotta be like, I gotta work right.
I gotta be here.
Yeah. So we ended up we lost the first game off rip, like same like that was the game I threw for like a bunch of yards.
I'm about to say, you like in these losses you're talking about from your high school freshman year, like
it's
not like you just went out there and looked crazy.
It's like the first game we lost, but then at Martinsburg, I'm playing like one half, 3 quarters for most of the game.
And y'all
right?
punting on third down.
Yeah, like I was like, and it was 12-minute quarters. Like the games went by fast. In college, like the refs, the time management people, they're on it, and it's 15 minutes. You got commercial breaks, you got all, like the game is like you playing for like 4 hours. So that game, I knew we were trailing the whole time, so we was coming back, so we had to throw the ball a lot. Ended up throwing for like 500 yards. That's
crazy.
And it was like one of those things I didn't even know that like I did that. I thought maybe it was just like 3-something. And I saw 500, I was like, what? So it was like crazy. One thing, it was like, yeah, we lost, but you go discredit.
Yeah, I'm about to say,
I just discredit 500 yards, and they ended up going to the national semifinals that year.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so it was like right off the jump too. I just felt like the fear I had of playing against older dudes and being a freshman quarterback in college, kind of just what fueled just me being ready for that, and then I was able to just carry that, and I won first team all conference, and it was like another surprisingly good year where I knew that like. Each year, I feel like I got a little bit more motivation to go that much harder. Like, I never had a year where I was like, oh, that was a terrible year.
Yeah,
like,
I'm dreading. You balled every single year.
Yeah, I like always tried to just make sure I progressed like every year.
Yeah. Coming into that freshman year, what was training camp like? Were you guys kind of like, oh, you're not this and that, or was it? Because I know you made a lot of boys transfer.
Yeah.
Throughout your career, you made a lot of dudes transfer.
Quarterbacks on the team, though. Like nobody that was like. Really had aspirations of like
taking it there,
nothing with the quarterback position. But like the guy who offered me, Coach Carell, I was really gonna go to Shepherd because of him, and then he ended up taking a Shippensburg job like a couple months after I signed.
Oh, really? So you never had him?
Yeah. So he came back my junior year.
Okay.
So we ended up getting Coach Hyatt came, and he was like this real pasty white, just like. Quiet, and like it wasn't Coach Carell, and I was just like, I'd already signed. So then coming in there, like I was obviously training, getting ready, but also had no clue who Coach Hyatt was, what it was going to be like. So it was a little shaky, just with trying to figure that out for myself mentally, because I was just coming from what I thought was the greatest coach ever, Coach Walker,
for sure.
like Martinsburg High School.
For sure, the standard was that high.
Exactly. So I'm like, man, like I hope me and this dude can get along. But me and him got super tight. He ended up staying for 3 years. He was like a perfect coach for an incoming like quarterback, which like he just teaching the basics, hammering down on it, making sure he's not trying to overwhelm you with
for sure
with
having some patience too.
Yeah. Like he absolutely killed it. So then Coach Carell ended up coming back my junior year. That coach, we were so successful, he ended up getting a head coaching job at like Eastern New Mexico.
Okay.
So he took that head coaching job. And then Coach Carell came, and he was like, he's not a good coach for a first-year guy. Like, he needs a guy that's already seasoned a little bit. Gotcha. And by that time, I had already thrown for like 8,000 yards in 2 years. So I was like ready to roll. Mm-hmm. And he was just more so like, we're going to put 50 points up. We're going to throw the ball. We're going to throw 500.
So it all worked itself out.
500 touchdowns. And I was ready to do that. That won't work for a guy. Like, that wouldn't work for Ezra next year.
Yeah, coming in, trying to figure it out.
That wouldn't have worked for me my freshman year. But once I was ready to roll and had a, generalized understanding of everything that was going on, that it meshed pretty perfectly.
So did he come back? You said your third year.
He came back my junior year.
Okay. Was that before the COVID?
Nah. So this was basically my fourth year.
Okay,
but
this
it was
year,
my junior season.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the year I won the Harlan Hill.
Okay.
And then Shepherd's just such a hard place to stay, like coaching wise. You gotta do so much slave work, like, and you don't get paid for it, like you should. So it's just a revolving door of coaches. So he left, and then we got Coach Haynes, and he brought like the whole mental aspect to the game. Like, he taught me all that, so it all kind of came full circle. And I think it worked out perfectly for me.
No, for sure.
Did.
So you were having second doubts about it, when he left after you committed. You were like, should I go here? But then it's really what you needed. That new coach that came in.
Hindsight, it was perfect.
Yeah,
hindsight, it was perfect. Got the good first year coach. Then I had a dude who was trying to throw the ball over the field. Then I had a dude who was trying to throw the ball over the field, but also, help me out mentally with understanding the game.
Yeah. No, your freshman year, after that 2018 season, that was your freshman year, right? I was sitting at the campfire with a few of my boys, and we always just debate sports. Like, we go from like, who's the best in the NBA to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, football players. I said, after your first year, because I knew you forever, right? And we talked about it, but like the talks of going to the NFL, I was like sitting around here like, bro, it's hard to go to the NFL at D2, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sitting here like, bro, he's like, he's not even better than the quarterback they had the year before. I'm just like, he's like, the quarterback year before got a shot with the, like you said, the Redskins. I'm like, bro, I'm trying to tell you, did y'all see what he did his first year? Like, that's like what seniors, juniors do.
Yeah.
Like that first year, debating with me, whatever. So, a year or two goes by. Actually, it was the year you won the Harlan Hill. You threw that Hail Mary pass for the win. And a few of my boys from that conversation texted me and said, you were right. They were like, you were right. Like, he's a real deal. You know what I'm saying? And after you won the award, they were like, oh no, he can go. You know what I'm saying? So it went from a lot of guys, love those guys to death though. You know what I mean? But it's like,
and they're not even wrong.
Yeah,
they're not even wrong at all.
Sure.
They're not even close to it. I feel like I had a very unrealistic idea of how hard it is to go to the NFL. I never gave it the respect I probably should have. Like, I always thought I was going to go to the NFL. And I don't know why. I was growing up in Charlestown, like right here. Like, why would you go to the NFL?
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
It's like, it seems like the furthest fetched thing.
Yeah, for sure. So going into college, were you just like, I'm going to go to Shepherd? So you were like, I'm going to Shepherd and I'm going to the league.
Yeah. Well,
like
so I had offers to other like small D1 schools, but I knew I could see that that they did not have, that my path was not fitting going there if it meant going to the league. Like, I wasn't going to U Albany and throw the ball and have one good year with Jawan, and then have a couple other years where we're struggling.
Yeah.
Or Robert Morris where we're losing every game.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not gonna work.
Yeah.
But I know, I'm like, if I go to Shepherd and we throw the ball 30 times a game and I start for 4 years and I put up and I just do what I'm supposed to and just get better every year. It was endless dudes since I've been a Shepherd fan that made it to the league. I was like,
why not?
They have it's a pathway right here, and I can stay close to home. So I'm like, it was a no-brainer.
And through that, you around for your sisters and you catch Ezra's games and stuff like that. So
I'm the oldest of 4, so like I know that if I was gonna be gone 4 or 5 years, that's like, I'm not even really gonna know them as well.
Yeah, you miss a lot.
I'm not gonna know them as well. So that played a part too.
Nah, for sure. That's crazy. Do you ever think what it could have been like at Albany, you and Jawan, his last year there?
Yeah, I'm sure it would have been perfect.
Because he said that quarterback was throwing like every time.
Yeah, they had a solid year that year. And I mean, that's part of it. You got speed on the outside. You got a quarterback that can get it to you. They are traditionally they run the ball. So it's like, you see how you just get the right dudes. Things can change like that.
For sure. When did you start getting a lot of buzz? Was that after your second year or your first year? Like when people were like, oh, this
my second year was the first time that my coach called me and told me that like a team was asking about me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You probably
that was
like,
after
what
the 29th.
the fuck?
Yeah, I think it was the Jets. And my coach told me, and he was like he was making it probably sound like a bigger deal than it was, but he was so hyped, and I was just like, dang, like that's wild.
So that's when
because that year, like the 2019 year, I really balled out. So I was like, I'm balling out against dudes that are actually trying to go to the NFL. Like they're already, these dudes I'm already putting up numbers against. For sure. They're getting opportunities.
For sure.
So it's like, it makes sense that if I keep going, I'll definitely get an opportunity. So.
For sure. And you said you balled out that year. Did y'all run the ball a lot that year, that 2019?
That was the year that Glover went crazy.
Yeah, wasn't he first team All-American and led?
I know that, he because he was doing everything. He was returning kicks, running the ball, catching the ball. Yeah, he was doing everything. He went crazy that year.
It's crazy. Did y'all win the conference that year?
Nah, I never won the conference.
You never won the conference?
I only won the region.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The region's bigger than the
conference.
Yeah,
nah, for sure.
But you win the conference and we would lose in the conference game or lose a dumb game.
How many regional titles you have?
Two.
Yeah. You get rings for that?
Yep.
That's tough.
Yeah.
So how many rings you got all together, man?
Four.
Tell the people. You got four rings?
I got 2 state championships in high school and then 2 regional championships in college.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So after your last year, we'll talk about after the Harlan Hill year. Talk about like what that was like. You entered the transfer portal. Mm-hmm. How did that go for you? How was everything like that?
It was good. The Harlan Hill, I feel like it was like, my dad is such a weirdo because he'll say the dumbest shit, like the most crazy stuff. But like it had, like a lot of it does come true. And maybe that's like him unconsciously putting like a little bit of stress on me. Not stress on me, but just like, I'm like, oh, okay. So that's what he thinks I can do.
For sure.
So maybe I can do that. So
man, I remember I was at a tailgate at one of your games, mm-hmm. and people were drinking or whatever like that. But your dad was just walking around telling people, he's like, "Yo, my son's about to win the D2 Heisman." Like he's telling, this is like a month before, right? He's like, he had arm wrestling. I don't know. He was talking about arm wrestling, and he was like, "And my son's about to win the D2 Heisman" or something like that. And everyone's laughing.
Yeah,
like,
he was talking about it, and his buddy had a landscaping company and on a billboard put 2021 Harlan Hill candidate or something like that before the season even started. So I was like, man, and then the first game happened, and I'm like, all right, that was a good game.
Yeah.
And then it was like every single game was like that.
Yeah.
It was like every game, 355 touchdowns, 355 touchdowans, 355 touchdowns, 6 touchdowns, 5 touchdowns.
Video game numbers.
Yeah, it was so wild. It was happening. I was like, man, like we are scoring the shit out of the ball, and this is like, it's just easy right now. It was fun.
Nah, that's crazy. So,
but yeah, so then after that year, I wasn't even planning on getting in the portal, but I started getting Marshall called me, and I wasn't in the portal, and it was one of their coaches, and they're basically just, they were like, when you get in the portal, like when you do get in the portal.
Oh, they were telling you that
everybody's
before.
expecting. I was like, man, everybody's like expecting me to get in this portal, and I know this is illegal.
For sure.
He was like, hey man, you by yourself?
Well, it's crazy because
he was like, hey man, you by yourself? I was like, yeah, I'm by myself. Put it on speaker. I had about 7 people in the room, and we were just listening to it. And after that, I was just like, man, you know what? I'm gonna go. Like hardest thing ever was telling Coach McCook, because I know that he's riding or dying with me on the team.
For sure.
And I know he wasn't expecting it either, because I know that during the 2021 season, he would bring me in like once every couple of weeks and be like, hey man, so he would just make sure that I wasn't gonna forgo my senior year or if I was thinking about leaving.
For sure.
Or no, he was just worried about if I was gonna declare early.
Okay.
So I was like, nah, fully wanting to.
And that wasn't him being selfish. He's probably just looking at it
he's just
preparing for next year
and just making sure he's got all his dots crossed and all that. So I knew that me not being on the team was a worrisome thing for him. So like, I was like, all right, maybe I can go to like Texas. Everybody needs a quarterback.
Yeah, for sure.
Who doesn't need a quarterback?
For sure.
Or even if they think I can be a good backup for him, I'll go take the dude like job eventually.
Yeah.
And I had a redshirt year still. So worst comes to worst, if I didn't win out,
So after that year, you had 2 more years?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm like, worst comes to worst, if I sit there for a year and learn the offense, there's no way I'm not going to play the next year. So I'm thinking big. I'm thinking Texas, Oklahoma, Florida State. I'm thinking maybe somebody crazy will throw me an offer. So that's what fueled my decision. And then tell Coach McCook, they was all. I told her I was like, I'm not really planning on leaving, but if like a perfect opportunity presented itself, that would be the only reason. But I fully plan on coming back. He thought I was just sweet talking him, just wanting him to feel better about it. He thought I was out. He thought I was leaving.
Bro, I thought you was leaving, man.
Yeah. I almost did go to Maryland. I did almost go to Maryland. I like 100% almost went to Maryland.
That's crazy. Which is still kind of local-ish.
Yeah,
it's like an hour.
It's only an hour. It's an easy drive.
It was like
an hour and 25 minutes. I was like, man, that was an easy drive. But yeah, so I put my name in the portal. It was wild. Nothing like high school, obviously. Every coach in the country was like hit me up, which was cool. And then had to start taking official visits because I didn't really like being in the portal. Felt like it just feels a little homeless. And I was like, man, I ain't with the team right now.
Yeah.
I'm not with, if I decide to leave, I'm not with that.
I was gonna say, how was that like? Did you still work out with your guys? Or
I was just working out by myself and I was stressed
out. It's probably fuck Tyson, man.
Yeah, no, I was stressed out. But I also did it during like winter break. So it's like nobody was around, but I was stressed. I was like, man, I don't know if I like this. But so I ended up taking official visits to WU, Maryland, and I had one set up with Northwestern and Western Kentucky because they had just had Bailey Zapp who threw for like 20,000 yards in like one season. So I was like, all right, well, he got a shot at the league, so that's obviously got to be a spot that I visit. But I hadn't graduated yet. I already did all my classes. I just had an internship and no classes until I graduated. So going up there, I realized that you can't just pick up where you left off academically. You got to get a certain number of credits from a school in order to graduate. So it was going to set me back like a year and a half in school. And I was like, no shot. Like, no shot.
Yeah.
So at W is a hard no because even like, it was just other stuff where I didn't really like the vibe, whatever it was. I just didn't feel like it was.
Had you ever been to Morgantown? Like just like out for a night?
No, I haven't. I never did. But yeah, it's just it was just like, I knew I made my mind up there when I left, and then I had Maryland later that week, and they was so nice that I almost was like, man, 50 credits might be worth it. 50 credits might be worth it. But I knew I wanted my granddad to see me graduate. So I knew if I went there, he wasn't going to be able to see that. So it worked out, though.
I feel that.
It worked out.
I feel that. So you went back to Shepherd for that last year.
Yeah.
So going into games after that Harlan Hill year, like going into games, were you like, I have to be better? Like me personally, not in he's not being selfish or anything. It's for where I'm trying to go, like you couldn't just chill some games. Like you're always on the watch. Like you couldn't go into it. We're up by. We have a 2-score lead or whatever. You can't just kind of like hand the ball off every.
It was the senior year was like, that was the most stressful year. Obviously, I was the best I'd ever been because I knew that mentally I brought it all full circle. That I was, for the first time, I'm in full control of every little puzzle piece being moved on the field. And I know why. Like, I got a rhyme and a reason for everything I'm doing. So I knew I got better. So it wasn't a thing of like, did I get better? And after my junior year, it was the first time I got coaching from a real quarterback guy, just because they heard my name now and now they want to get videos of me so they can promote what they got going on. So just little stuff like that where I knew that, physically and mentally I had progressed. But it also was this thing with just, I know that I'm this close to getting my name out there. And it can make or break it by this last year. Yeah. Like I need to consistently.
Like what if you went out there and just had a terrible year?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't have got invited to the Senior Bowl. And that's what it was. I was like, I need to play good enough for these dudes to invite me to the Senior Bowl because that is the most important thing.
Wow, still winning games.
Yes, the only question that people had on me is like the level of play I'm playing against. So I can solve that at the Reese Bowl. So the whole time I'm like, we're playing a horrible team. I'm going, like I'm preparing so hard just because I know I
gotta kill these dudes.
I need to have a good game. Yeah. And not selfishly but it is selfish, but everybody's selfish. It is selfish in that way. I knew I needed to be able to be my best on every play.
For sure.
And not give any leeway for anybody to be able to say anything about my ability or anything. Or look at the numbers and be like, how can we invite this dude from D2 to the combine or to the Reese Bowl game if he's just got normal numbers against Division II? Like that's just not, they're not gonna be able to wrap that around in their mind, even if I was good enough. So it was stressful in that sense. But I mean, once again, I should have just not even stressed. Because it all was gonna
Just
work
play.
Out. It all was gonna work out.
Go about
and most of
it.
the time I did just, once I got on the field for pregame warmups, I was not nervous. But the whole week leading up to the game, I would be nervous.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I get on the field, I'll be like, oh, okay. Yeah, we're good.
So Shepherdstown, they take their football serious, man. So was there any pressure behind that? Like losing a game, it's a sad day, Shepherdstown, man.
It is.
Especially a home game.
Yeah, it is. And it was like, there was one point we lost like 4 straight home games. We lost my freshman year, we lost our last home game. And then, we lost our last 2 home games. We lost to Fairmont State and we lost to UVA Wise. And then we lost the 2 home openers the next year at home. So we had lost 4 straight home games. And it's like, the whole reason Shepherdstown's even like a town that people know about is because of the football team.
For sure.
Because it's like everybody goes to it. It's like, for whatever reason.
It's a hangout. It's a Saturday hangout.
It's such a weird location, but it works out perfectly.
This is Saturday hangout.
It works out perfectly for some reason. Like there was never one time where I'm like, dang, I go to Shepherd, and because I chose Shepherd, I really don't ever have any fun.
Like crazy.
That was always so fun to me. Like when it was a home game day, a lot of the stress from the game was like, man, I hope this game goes perfect so I can have fun.
Yeah, get lit later for sure.
Like, because I know it's gonna be everybody there, all my boys, I'm in my hometown. Like, if I just play good, it's gonna be the greatest day in the world. So winning those games at home, I think like it's just because if you don't, first off, I don't want to be around anybody, and I hate anybody who still goes out after we lose. If you're on the team and you go out after we lose, I for whatever reason, I hate you.
Yeah. So, something Miles always told me, like even when we were younger, he's like, yo, Tyson hates to lose.
Yeah.
He hates to lose. Like his mood will change off that. Like
I know.
I remember
I'll go like on a day and a half like hiatus. Like I just be like just so bothered by it.
You see the difference because I went to a lot of your games, especially the home games. If you won, you're coming back to the tailgate. You're like, good.
Yeah, like,
they lose. He's got his bag, head down, like, giving people his hugs, stuff like. But you can just tell like the difference from the wins and losses, man. And
that was like one downfall of it being so great in Shepherdstown on game day. It's like it weighed on you a little more if you lost.
For sure. Did you ever hear any hate like in the town about your play? Did anyone?
Nah, I never heard any of it. I know coming in like my freshman year, I came in with another pretty like sought after quarterback, and a lot of the coaches on the staff had predicted that he would be the one.
Oh, really?
That would win the job. So I wouldn't even call that hate, but maybe just a little bit of doubt.
Yeah.
But I never heard anything in the stands. I'm sure there's a million coaches up in the stands, a million fan coaches.
Oh yeah, that knows everything, right?
All got their own opinion, but luckily I never heard it.
That's crazy.
I never heard it.
A summer you got invited to, was it last summer? 2 summers ago, you got invited to Eli Manning and Peyton Manning's camp.
Yeah.
How was that?
Last summer, yeah.
Last summer?
Good. It was good. That was kind of my first time around all the dudes. So that was just big. Like all those dudes just go there to have fun, but I knew I was going down there. There was gonna be a lot of eyes there, and it was gonna be my chance to show that there's no drop off.
Oh, for sure.
They don't throw the ball. I don't throw the ball any different than them. My feet it's no different. So that was cool. It was a good experience. It was hot, because we would.
Where was it?
Thibodaux, Louisiana.
Okay.
So we would just coach all day, and we would have our own little workouts away from everybody with the Mannings and all the other coaches that were there. So it was perfect. It was perfect in that sense. I mean, and it's not just a Manning camp just for a name. Like they're around.
Yeah, for sure.
Like they're like this.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
you look up and it's Peyton sitting right there just talking to somebody. And you're like, man, it's pretty sweet. But I was actually hooping with Eddie when their dad texted me.
Oh.
It was like in between games, and I just checked my phone, and it was Archie Manning. He was like, hey man, we're inviting you to the camp. Let me know if you can make it.
And did you have a relationship with any of them before this? Did you know?
Nah. I know that Shepherd had an old player who used to play with Archie.
Okay.
So I think that's kind of how my name got introduced.
Okay.
Like the year before that.
Okay.
And then the next year he ended up inviting.
So they texted you. It wasn't like an email or anything.
Nah,
they
Archie
texted
me, yeah.
And you were like, what the?
I was like, wow.
I'm one of them guys, huh?
Hell yeah, I'll be there.
How long was it? Was it a week?
It was 4 or 5 days. 4 or 5 days.
And what, they just put you guys in a hotel?
We stayed at Nickel State. And
Okay.
then, like the dorms.
Okay.
So it was sweet. It was cool.
That's
It was
dope.
cool.
And
It
you
was cool. There was like thousands, like they get like a couple thousand little camp people, and there's like a under the lights throwing thing, and it's just like basically combine throws, but you got one side filled with all the campers, and then another side filled with people who bought tickets like to come watch. So it was like 10,000. It's like 10,000 people
That's crazy.
in there, and you just like one after another
Yeah.
throwing. They're announcing your name, where you're from, and you just.
So it's like
throw.
it was a
So
mini
it
little
was-
combine.
It was like, nerves was high. Like it was crazy. You could see it getting to some people. They would just throw a crazy looking ball. But so that was fun, and that was when I started getting some buzz around me because I threw the ball pretty well. But it was fun. It was fun.
Were you the only D2 guy there?
Yeah.
So when you go to a lot of these, you went to NFL Combine, you're the only,
I'm out.
especially a quarterback.
Yeah.
You're the only one.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Nah, it is wild because it like the picture edits and stuff where they posted who it is and where they're from, and it's like you got them all grouped together, and then it's just like Shepherd. I'm like, wow.
They had to make that
I really
for
got
you.
here. I got here just by strictly being in my hometown, strictly staying home. I got on the same level y'all are on. That's crazy. Just chilling in Martinsburg and Shepherdstown.
Rubbing it in for them, man. Like that's wild. And those guys that are from different areas that go to the Power 5 schools, they probably have guys in their town that's on the same level as them that they can work with.
Yeah.
Here you kind of
unlimited resources.
Here you kind of have to go get it. You know what I mean? Or hit.
Yeah, you gotta figure it out. For real, you really gotta figure it out. And I feel like anything I didn't have, I tried to in some way form some contraption that would get the job done.
For sure.
Just making it the bare maximum, like extracting any little piece of anything that I can get that I think will help me or allow me to be able to do the same thing that the next guy's doing.
Nah, for sure.
I feel like it helped me out a lot because now I get all these resources. They're probably tired of them. I'm just like, wow,
I'll take it.
Even use this
I'll
before.
take it. Yeah.
I'll do this every day.
Trayvon Wesco, WVU, first team, Big 12, drafted to the Jets. Now he's on the Bears now. You guys worked out a few times.
Yeah.
What has he meant to you? Just being a guy from here, drafted to the league, working out. How was that?
Yeah, I think it's just it's inspiring, obviously. Just because everybody understands that there is no like tangible resources around here, sports-wise. Like you got youth leagues and stuff like that, but a lot of times it ends right there. You go to Jefferson, you got like you going to getting coached at Jefferson. Like it's like you go on an uphill battle.
Nah, for sure.
So, or like Musselman where he was at, like
yeah.
I'm sure that there's a significant drop-off between Musselman and college.
For sure.
So him being able to do what he did, and he's one of those dudes that's it's infectious being around him.
Yeah.
High energy, happy,
dude. For sure.
like not just chilling, handles his business, always clean. So it's like one guy, somebody you gravitate to, and he's been helpful. Just give me any advice he can, give me a little gems to take here and there, and then he hooked me up with Jets footballs for a couple of years.
Okay.
So that was one of the first NFL balls I ever had.
That's what's up.
I still throw him today. So yeah, he's been inspiring and he's a good dude. So
that's what's up. The combine, how was that for you? A lot of people. Was it the first year that they let people like come watch it?
It was. They used to let a handful of people watch, and they'd be up in like the balcony. This year it was
like an experience, right?
It was like 10,000 people, and they was like right on the sideline.
That's crazy.
They were heckling. They were doing all kinds of.
Crazy.
It's quiet in there too, because it seats like obviously a lot more than 10,000. So
yeah,
you hear everything.
Everyone's spread out a little bit.
Yeah, you hear everything. But it was cool. Like the combine in itself, it's a little drawn out. Like it don't need to be 5 days, but like the first 4 days you just do like they're handling making sure that you are completely good medically. They're doing piss tests, blood tests, checking your heart, checking any injury you ever had since middle school. Like they're on it. They got a sheet on it, just because they don't want to pay somebody who they're not gonna be able to have.
Yeah, for sure.
For a while. So it was nitpicky. I had to everybody's getting MRIs and X-rays, even if it was something that happened 5 years ago that you say you don't have any pain with it, you haven't dealt with it in 5 years, they're like, we'll get an x-ray just to make sure. So going through all the medical, all the measurements, all the meetings, and then interviews with NFL teams. And then by day 5, you finally get to go on the field and stuff. But it's just so many cameras involved. It's such like a spectacle, like a huge promotion, advertising thing. Like it's
and that's when you probably really realize like this is really a business. Like
100, yeah. It's like you got Noble there, getting us all the gear. You got NFL Network all around, Sports Center, like just all these like different like agencies. The NFLPA Players Association is there. Like everybody's there just promoting themselves. Nike, Adidas, they got suites set up right there, so they want all the top athletes using their stuff. They're they basically just set up and they're like,
are you more of a Nike guy or you Adidas guy? Or you Under Armour?
I would say Nike. Like everybody's Nike. Even if you say you're not Nike,
you're Nike. You're gonna put some Nike on.
Yeah, like everybody's gonna get Nike before like Adidas. I just feel like I have a couple things Adidas, but I can never consistently rock like an Adidas fit. I feel like it's easier to go Nike, but I got some stuff from both.
For sure.
I got some stuff from both.
Have options. What was there a quarterback or was there a player in general that you had watched years before, maybe from your freshman year that you got to meet and it was kind of like, wow?
Yeah, I was thinking about this pretty much anytime I saw him, but he wasn't in my group. So Dorian Thompson-Robinson from UCLA.
Okay.
So he went to Bishop Gorman, and they were like a national championship high school team in Vegas. And I went to Vegas when I was 16 with my pops and my family. And he had some arm wrestling stuff going on. And we went and visited Bishop Gorman, and this dude's like the #2 recruit in the country. And I saw him working out on the field. And I was just a 16-year-old, and he was too, but his name had already been
he's a household name.
Mm-hmm. And then now, we were both at the combine. I was like, wow,
that's crazy.
That is crazy. Because at the time, I thought he was so good. But like now, I think I'm better.
Yeah,
so it's like crazy. It's crazy how that works like that.
That's wild. There's a picture on Instagram, you and my boy Bryce Ford Wheaton.
I had no clue.
Martinsburg.
I had no clue he's from Martinsburg.
No one knows he's from Martinsburg.
That's crazy.
He'll always say he doesn't claim Martinsburg.
Well, he shouldn't.
I mean, he grew up here.
He might have been born here.
Hey man, he about third, fourth grade, and he got up out of here.
That's crazy. That's wild.
But I'm real close with his family, and
he said something about godparents.
Yeah, we're tight like that.
That's crazy.
I wasn't really around him, being older now, but it's crazy because his grandfather went to W, and he was a legend there, and the fact that he could go there and get some buzz too. He had a pretty big game this past year. First game of the year against Pitt, he had like 3 touchdowns. He went crazy, but
he went crazy.
It's crazy. Y'all from the same area, and y'all got that picture next to each other. It's pretty dope.
Yeah, no, I didn't know he was from Martinsburg. We actually I was throwing to him throughout the week, like leading up, and then he told me that, and I was like, that is funny because I was always wondering. I felt like whenever I would see something with you, Miles or Marcus would like or comment on it. I was wondering where that connection was.
Yeah, for sure.
From Martinsburg. I was like, what?
Yeah, that's crazy.
That is insane. Imagine if he'd have grown up and went to Martinsburg. That would have been wild.
Gotta have more state champions they already got, man.
Wild. I know he was tough. He was probably tough.
Nah,
he ran a 4.3, like 220.
Yeah, he's a big kid, So, after the combine, talk a little bit about what it's been like. Now you have a pro day coming up at Shepherd. Your preparation for that. Have you been chilling a little bit, catching up with family and stuff like that, or you've been locked in and
Nah, I know I still got my pro day, so I've been like doing the same stuff I was doing when I was down in Florida. But I was down in Florida since January 1st, training, away from everybody for the first time in an area I'd never been in. So I did that for a while. Senior Bowl game, went back to training, trained for the combine, went to the combine, and after I did good at that, it was like a significant weight off my shoulders because it's like the bowl game and the combine were the 2 biggest focal points. So after I got those done, now the pro day they're gonna come to Shepherd. I'm just at home throwing the ball, so like that'll be fine. I got a script about 60 throws. I got 5 dudes I'm throwing to. My tight end from this past year, Brian Walker, Ronnie Brown, running back, Dylan Brewer, old receiver, Josh
Okay.
Gontarek, old
Okay.
receiver, and then a receiver from San Diego State. So
this is your pick. Did you pick these guys?
I picked those. Yeah, I picked those guys, and
that's
they
gotta be
were also
love.
down. They were also down to do it, which is huge. Well, like two of them, D. Brew and Gontarek, were down to do it, which they didn't have to be. So
For
that
sure.
was, shout out to them for that. But
For sure.
we've been going Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday since I went back. Just going. I already got the script from my coach, so just going through the script, making sure we feel comfortable with it, making sure I got the right dudes running the right routes. But yeah, we've been. I mean, after the combine, after I did what I was supposed to, I was just, extremely tired after that point.
Yeah.
So I chilled that night and then came home, chilled here for about 3 days. Didn't really move a whole lot, just talking to everybody, and then just got back on it. But it is nice. It's nice being home and being able to be locked in at home.
For sure.
Like that's good. Still being able to handle my business. I feel like I'm prepared with a little bit more resources just from all the info gathered while training. So I can just implement that. Martinsburg High School's got state-of-the-art facility, weight room. So it's nothing workout-wise that I can't do here that I was doing in Florida, which is nice.
For sure. So is this Tyson Bagent's pro day, or is it like the Shepherd?
Nah, this is the Shepherd. So we've got me, my running back, tackle, Joey, our tight end, and we have a D lineman.
Okay.
So it's like those five. So they're gonna do my script will be at 11. They'll be done testing. Then we'll do the script.
Okay.
And then everybody will just watch.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Dang, that's
It'll
crazy.
be lit. It'll be fun.
So it's a great opportunity. Is it open to like everyone just to come to?
Mhm.
Man, Keegan, what you doing, man? What time is it?
I think the script's at 11.
11?
Yeah.
Tuesday? Next Tuesday?
Yep.
We have to pull up.
Tuesday.
That's not bad. Next Tuesday, that's crazy. So then after that pro day, you just wait for the draft.
Yeah, and just wait.
Where you gonna be at draft night, man?
I don't know yet. I haven't really decided. That's a sticky little.
Yeah, no, I feel you.
I feel like I'll just have a little celebration after.
No, I feel that.
That's probably what
When
happens.
names called and everything like that, man. Good talks, man. Do you have anything to say to a young kid, coming up? I mean, you basically proved that you don't have to go Division I to get on NFL notice. What would you say?
I'd probably say that you don't. All these coaches that want to charge you all this money to train you, it's no different than if you just, if you go find a hill and you run up that hill a million times. You put in.
Take your boys with you.
You get your sweat equity. If you're competitive and it means something to you, I mean, you got YouTube at the tip of your fingers. Anything you think you need to be doing to get you better for your sport, all you need to do is you need to be able to see somebody do it, and you need to experiment with it, and then eventually you're gonna get it down. Kyrie Irving didn't get his handles from some sports-specific trainer. He got his handles from constantly dribbling the ball. Just like I didn't get any of my throwing mechanics, power, nothing like that from some throwing specialist. It was constant work and experimentation and just connecting my mind with the feelings that were in my body. So there's enough resources even in the Eastern Panhandle, so to get the job done. So all you need to do is put your head down and work. And if you consistently do that, you're just gonna outlast a bunch of people.
Oh man, I owe you a few drinks after your name's called.
Yeah.
Especially, knowing you for a while, man. You mean a lot to my family.
Yeah.
It's been we had some wars in the backyard playing basketball. I still own all those.
Man.
I still got all those. So right now, we appreciate you for getting on, man. It's been a long journey for you.